Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with another video here today. We're going to be talking about FIFA 21. I wanted to get this video out earlier this week, but I wasn't in town, and the recording setup that I had while I was out of town just wasn't ideal. So even though I've been gaming the past 2 weeks that I've been out, I haven't been able to record. So this is the first video I've recorded in 2 weeks, which is pretty crazy to say. But we're going to be talking about FIFA 21. The reason I'm starting on this screen is I thought it was interesting that they're doing the same cover style for all three of their sports games this year. UFC, Madden, and FIFA all have this weird like Instagram tile picture type thing and seem to be fashion focused, at least in some of the covers. The UFC one is the most obvious one, but there's a FIFA 21 cover. I believe there's a Madden 21 cover as well. That has like a fashion related thing. I thought that was interesting. I don't know if it's actually going to mean anything, but it's interesting to see that the focus is more than just the sport this year. So I'm thinking maybe something is happening with some of the career modes. Maybe if we're lucky. They haven't said too much about player career mode yet, but we do have some information to cover in this video, and that's what we're going to be talking about. Tomorrow's video is actually going to be the reaction to the gameplay trailer that's going to be coming out tomorrow as I'm recording this. So August 4th, we should also be having back-to-back IRL non-FIFA 20 videos going up on the channel. So let's take a look. So FIFA 21, win is won on the street and in the stadium. See what's new in FIFA 21. Kylian Mbappe is the cover star, like I said. Again, just like this tile-focused idea for the cover. It's super interesting. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I know there's some people that do like it, but I'm just not that big of a fan. So feel next level, visual to visceral. It's, you know, game engine type stuff. We don't really need to cover that too much. What we do want to do though is see features for FIFA 21, because in the trailer they didn't show too much. They showed it a little bit, and there were glimpses if you guys did see it. We're not going to watch it. It's been like 2 weeks. If you haven't seen it yet, just go watch it. But we're not going to cover it in this video because we're going to do a trailer reaction tomorrow, and it's like a 4-minute trailer. So, but here we go. In terms of gameplay, we're looking at new positioning. Personality raises the importance of positional awareness. World-class forwards will hold their runs to stay level with the last defender to stay on side. Playmakers will hunt for space to operate between the lines, while the best defenders will close down passing lanes more effectively to make it harder for the opposition to create opportunities. I think that's interesting because positional awareness really hasn't been that important in the last few FIFAs, because it's like, yeah, they might make a run here and there, but really like it only matters whenever you're simulating a game or something like that. The actual players on the field didn't really move the way that you needed them to a lot of the time without you telling the player to run, to go forward, to be ready for the through ball, to do this, that, and the other. So if players are more likely to do that, because you guys know that's why I like Joseph Martinez so much in this game, is because he's able to push that back line better than like almost any striker in the game. So if there's more players that do things like that, if there's more false nines that sit back and try to you know, play behind the lines or between the lines, that'll be great as well. Creative runs, as we were talking about, team movement off the ball, revolutionizing attack, build up play. Honestly, probably both of those aren't going to be too different from FIFA 20, I would imagine, but hopefully it will be a little bit better. But the thing that I wanted to talk about, the big one, is replicating the play style of the best FIFA players in the world. The competitor mode setting gives your opposition a better grasp of skill moves, dribbling types, and tactics to give you a more challenging and rewarding opponent to match up with on a legendary and ultimate difficulty. Now I'm curious to see what that's going to mean, because is that a third mode? Is that legendary, ultimate, and then competitor? Or is it going to be competitor, legendary, competitor, ultimate? Because that would kind of be ideal, because if you guys don't know, in FIFA 20 I was playing on ultimate for the first half of the year, and then they pushed out an update to make ultimate more difficult, and it was wild. And honestly, it could be a little similar to the competitor mode, because they were skilling a lot, but it was just like they weren't missing any passes. They were picking apart my defense like it was nothing. I didn't give it enough time to really try to get used to it. I just went back down to legendary. But I'm very curious if that was them testing the competitor mode for ultimate difficulty, because legendary got more difficult as well. Legendary basically moved up to what ultimate used to be, and then ultimate moved on to like a whole new thing, more similar to how it is in Ultimate Team, but it still wasn't that difficult. But the big thing that we're going to be talking about, as you guys know, I'm not a huge Ultimate Team person, but we will be getting into it a little bit. And then Volta is interesting as well. And then, of course, authenticity, FIFA's strong suit for sure. But career mode. Career mode is definitely interesting. Now, the interactive match sim, I don't care about. I'm going to be honest, it's one of their new features. I never used it in NBA. I never used it in MLB. I never used it in Madden. But interactive match sim does make me wonder, is it going to be possible to be a substitute this year in player career mode? If they're going to add it to career mode in general, hopefully they give you a jump in option or like a substitute option as a player career mode to come into the game if there's going to be this interactive match sim idea. So interactive match sim, jump in and out of matches to influence the course of action, or take charge of key moments including penalties and free kicks to change the outcome of the match. Monitor match data and make changes directly from the sim based on the match stats and your players' performance levels and stamina. So the good thing about that is, let's say like with the Lazio career mode that we're doing right now, we don't really want to focus on the league so much because we've won the league. Same with our player career mode. Maybe we only want to focus on Champions League. But we don't want to just simulate matches because we know how FIFA is about simulating. We can actually just be the manager of the team and then just do team management stuff like that and then take over the game if we need to. It's a good idea. Are people definitely going to use that to try to like cheat the system a little bit? Probably, but it's career mode. Who really cares? But we might use it a little bit in our career mode, but I'm not too excited about it unless it has something to do with player career mode. Manage your players' development in greater detail with a revamped growth system. Turn right backs into right wingers, defensive midfielders into center backs, and more to fill gaps in your team. Monitor player attribute changes during training to see how your squad is progressing. So that's going to be super, super interesting. I want to read that last sentence again though. Monitor player attribute changes during training to see how your squad is progressing. That, I'm kind of wondering, is there going to be like a team training option instead of just, or is that just the normal attribute training thing that we've seen before? Maybe it looks a little bit different, but the really, really big thing there is the ability to revamp the growth system and change player positions. I know that video on my channel is like getting disliked like crazy, but I'm still getting views, so shout out to you guys. But it's actually going to be possible with FIFA 21, which is awesome. So we'll actually be able to train like a Hector Bellerin. I hate as a right back, but I love as a right wing. In real life, in the game, he's fine as a right back, but I'm just saying we can make him be a right wing. Same with, you know, let's say George Bello for Atlanta United, for my US fans, for my Atlanta United fans from the channel. Not that again that I would move him to left wing, but you could, and that's definitely going to be super interesting. So defensive midfielders into center backs, I'm sure it goes the other way as well. But that'll be awesome. Get more insight into your squad's performance levels with match sharpness, a new attribute that indicates how likely your players are to perform in the most crucial moments during the course of a game. Increase your player sharpness with a new active training system that gives you the ability to step up group training sessions to improve the likelihood of your strikers putting chances away or defenders making key tackles. So there is going to be group training. So now the previous statement makes more sense. Monitor player attribute changes during training. So there might actually be a team training option. There could be a whole new training system, which will be super interesting. I'm not too sure. You know, it's still EA. How much is it really going to change? But, and I'm still not sure how often am I really going to do a training session when I can just simulate it. And if I'm playing on PC and I get the cheat engine and I can just do, you know, A rating trainings, because that's the only reason you do training, is because you can get an A when the CPU can't. That's the only time you ever really want to do a training session. But I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully it's good. Hopefully it's good. Plan your team's training schedule with a new activity management system. Decide when to train and when to rest during the week. So very much like FM, you're actually going to be able to set your training schedule. So maybe you only do the team trainings during the week to get your match sharpness up. But it definitely sounds like they're doing a lot of more FM type stuff, which I'm definitely interested in, especially because right now I'm playing a lot of FM off camera. If you guys want to see FM videos, Football Manager videos, let me know. I'm enjoying the hell out of it right now. I'm just kind of goofing around in one right now, but maybe that's something that we bring to the channel while we're waiting for these next 2 months. But planning your team's training schedule is going to be super interesting. Balance your players' sharpness with morale and fitness to make the difference between winning and losing. So it sounds like the match sharpness thing is going to be super important for career mode this year, which is going to be interesting. So enhanced opposition AI sees opponents approach games with a more intelligence in both defense and attack. Honestly, that's the same thing we read in gameplay more than likely. But it's going to be interesting to see, do they learn from what you do in your career mode? So if you're playing a certain style of defense or offense, are they going to get used to that and then you have to switch it, or just get better in that attacking system, or I'm not sure, but we'll see. Now, there are new ways to sign players, make loan-to-buy offers with optional and mandatory future transfer fees to secure new talent for your team, respond to AI manager-initiated player swap proposals as you look to master the transfer market. So that's huge, because before you couldn't, if somebody offered money for your player, you couldn't come back and negotiate for a player swap. So hopefully, I know that says AI manager initiated player swap proposals. One, that's good that they're going to be doing that, but two, hopefully we can renegotiate with a player swap as well, because that was also super frustrating. Because like sometimes, yeah, I would love to give you this player, but give me somebody as well, because I know you have this guy who maybe they're like trying to sell to somebody else, or they put on the transfer list and I want that guy, but I don't want to go out and spend more money. So hopefully that's a thing. We'll see. Customize your career mode with the new initial setup options, getting a true to life experience of negotiating signings on the transfer market with authentic transfers, or boost your team's starting budget to help you build your squad with financial takeover. So it's the new initial setup options. So the setup options were training boost, right? Or attribute boost, one of the two. No, that was for player career mode. Financial, not takeover, but you got like plus 20% in money as well. So it'll be interesting. And then hopefully when it says authentic transfers, there's like an option to make it more realistic and then more arcadey maybe. So if you want to be like a MLS team and go sign everybody in the world, there's that option, like there has been in previous FIFAs, where like you just get a crap ton of money from your youth academy and do it that way. But then the more realistic one, maybe it's a lot harder to make transfers. It'll be interesting to see. Now, in terms of Ultimate Team, I'm just going to run through really quick. The important thing here is that there's FUT co-op now, which is going to be interesting. And then also your FIFA Ultimate Team is going to move over from PlayStation 4 to PS5 or Xbox One to Xbox Series X. Now, I know there has been rumors of cross-platform being something in the future for FIFA, and maybe it happens with PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X, but as of right now, they're saying with the dual entitlement that you're only going to be able to move your Ultimate Team from the same company, so the same system but the newer generation. So that's going to be interesting, because if it was cross-platform, you would think you'd be able to move your team over to another thing. So I was only going to buy it on PC. I may still have to buy it on PS4. I don't know if I'm going to get the PS5 this year. I might get it next year, because there's not really many games coming out that I want for PS5. But I have friends who play pro clubs on console, so maybe I still get it there. But, the PC online community isn't that big, so maybe I should just get a PlayStation 5 for online anyways. But it'll be interesting. I'm also curious to see, is PS4 and PS5 going to be cross-platform? I think, hopefully, maybe, because like if you split the community, how bad is that going to be for Ultimate Team this year? I don't know. But the Volta thing is the super interesting thing to me, and again, why I go back to saying that I hope it's going to be cross-platform at second half of the year, hopefully, like December maybe, or January. But like hopefully, because Volta is going online finally. which is incredibly stupid that it wasn't before, but I really like the idea here. 5v5 online co-op play, because people actually play Volta. Hopefully it feels good this year. It didn't feel great last year, but there's a few new stadiums as well. There's one in Brazil, there's going to be one in Italy, and one in Dubai. All of them sound like they're going to look great. There's featured battles to go up against, match up against AI controlled star players, as well as squads from the Volta community, and compete for points and rewards. So I'm assuming like streamers and stuff like that are going to get their teams in the game, and you know, celebrities are going to be able to make their stuff. There's also going to be street football collectives and celebrity design collections, professional football clubs, yada yada. So the thing with new apparel from professional football clubs, hopefully there's going to be like an Arsenal shirt or something, like a Hector Bellerin designed kit or something. Maybe it's not an actual jersey in the game, because like that was really the only thing you were going to get. There were a couple other Jordan and PSG type stuff that I think they released. I didn't pay too much attention to Volta this past year, but hopefully with the new game pacing, intelligent squad movement, and more rewarding one-on-one situations on both sides of the ball, it'll be fun. So is this actually going to show me who's in the game? So I did want to see, the MLS is listed here. Now I think the MLS was listed last year though as well, but play with unrivaled authenticity in FIFA 21 with 17,000 players and 700 teams, alongside more than 90 stadiums and 30 leagues that give you the most true to life experience of the world's games. So 90 stadiums and 30 leagues. So we know the majority of Italy, Germany, Premier League, Spain are relatively in the game. That's 4 times 20, 80. MLS has 20-ish teams now. I don't think the MLS stadiums are going to be in the game just by reading that. I highly doubt they are. Maybe though, just because there are certain teams that don't have stadiums in the game in those bigger leagues. I highly doubt the entire MLS is in it, but hopefully there's more MLS teams this year. So we'll see. But there's definitely Premier League, Bundesliga, and La Liga. Doesn't look great though. The South America Cups are going to be back in it though, which is going to be interesting. Now, what was the other thing that there was something else I wanted to go over before we got out of this. Eric Cantona is going to be in the game. That's cool. But other than that, Premier League again. EFL is going to be in it fully. Will include all 72 member clubs, showcasing the unique heritage, pride, and passion of the heart of football. Bundesliga, 360-degree replays will further immerse you in every aspect of La Liga. Why did they only mention that in that one? Interesting. Stadium action, Serie A. All of Serie A's biggest stars are playable, bringing you the prestige and passion. They did show off that Inter is going to be fully integrated this year. They're going to be like fully focused on, I guess. They have a full license with FIFA. So I guess they're not going to be in PES, but PES is doing like a season update. So I don't know how that's going to work. They're not releasing a full game. A full, or the most realistic League One experience. Okay. League One Uber Eats. Is that the name of it now? That's awful. I'm not seeing a lot about the MLS, man. So I was excited because of the Portland thing, but it doesn't look like there's gonna, which if Portland's in the game, that's great because it's Portland, Seattle, Atlanta, LA, Vancouver, Red Bulls? No, Red Bulls don't have their stadium yet, or do they? No, they don't, right? Or do they? I forgot. I literally forgot. But hopefully there's more teams. I'm expecting like maybe 2 other teams, maybe, but that's about it. Other than that, I did want to go over, it does look like there's a little bit more focus on career mode this year, which is going to be interesting. I don't really know what that looks like, but hopefully it's good. Obviously a lot of stuff focused on Ultimate Team as expected, but I'm hoping that a lot of the stuff that they wanted to release, they were waiting for the next generation of consoles for for career mode, so I'm hoping this is going to be like the big one. We probably won't get many changes for the next decade, but you know, if we get a good one this time, FIFA 30 is going to be wild, hopefully. But we'll see. That's really all I got. Again, tomorrow we'll have the trailer. We'll see a little bit more gameplay. We'll understand a little bit more about it. Again, if you guys read this stuff about dual entitlement, I do not think we're gonna get cross-platform for a while. Maybe it comes out second half of the year, which would be great. If it does, I guess I'm just gonna keep playing on PS4 in terms of pro clubs, because it's not like I really need a better running system, because I don't really lag that much in game. It's not great, but it's not the worst. So we'll see. But in terms of the short term, it does not look like it's going to be cross-platform in my eyes. Maybe they have to say this because of deals with PlayStation and Xbox. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully there's going to be cross-platform for the PC community's sake. I hope there is going to be cross-platform, because I would love to be able to play the game on my PC against people on console. Of course I still use controller, but you know what I mean. So again, tomorrow we have a 3-minute and 38-second trailer coming out of FIFA 21 official gameplay trailer on August 4th. So hopefully we're gonna have good stuff, but that's where we're gonna end it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and until the next one, I'll see you guys later. Peace. Is it my fault?